Can you imagine when you run a franchise and things go so badly? You have a coach. Well, your ambassador, Woody Johnson's an ambassador. That's cool. He's an ambassador. He's not even owner. You're not even Mr. Once you're ambassador, you're always ambassador. Ambassador Johnson, maybe ambassador again. Maybe go back to England. Who knows? Gave his team to his brother, Chris. Wink, wink. Chris hired a coach. Woody had nothing to do with it. Didn't even know. Maybe it didn't make it through the government security protocols. He didn't get the email. No calls, of course. Chris Johnson runs the team. Woody said, well, that didn't work. Hey, let's get Aaron Rodgers. This is going to go great. Woody Johnson makes that happen. Total disaster. We're going to get into where Aaron Rodgers is because now he's basically a radio personality. That's who he is, a TV personality and a Awanaska authority. Great. No problem. Woody's looking and taking stock, which owners do, especially during bye weeks, especially during off days in baseball or during the All-Star break. You take stock. Where are we as a franchise? I got a few of those calls. Tell me right now, give me the status of our franchise. Well, we're 20 games under 500 with no path to profitability. That's where we are. Any questions? I wonder if Woody Johnson, I was going to say Woody Woodpecker. I wonder who Woody Johnson goes to in his moments of despondency, much like many of us when you're feeling a little lonely or you're feeling a little nostalgic. You'll go on Facebook and, oh, I wonder whether he's still around or she's still around, or I wonder what she's doing. I hope she doesn't look good. I hope he doesn't look good when you're looking and stalking your exes. Woody Johnson calls up Mike Tannenbaum and says, Mikey, I loved when you were here. I'm so sorry I fired you in 2012 because I got to tell you, nothing was better than when you were here. And we had Mark Sanchez and we went to the conference championships and everything was glorious. And now you've got your own company with Rick Spielman. And I have a question. Can we go right back to where we started? Can we start dating again? Well, Woody, thank you so much for asking. How about if you hire me? Well, what do you mean? Well, can you imagine that what Mike Tannenbaum does now is he has a company. It's called 33rd Team. Get it? There's 32 teams in football. They're the 33rd team. Hi, I'm the 33rd best general manager. Well, that's outstanding. That means you're on deck to be the GM. I'm the 31st best baseball manager. That's great. Welcome to AAA. I'm the 11th best sports podcast. Well, that's no top 10, but hey, better than being 14th. Here's what they do. And it's just the biggest scam ever. There's a great, great business out there. And I've joked about the Samson and Coca consulting firm. We'll do your PR. We'll do all of your public facing stuff. We'll do all of your investigations that the league does because they're all absolute horse hockey. But we'll start a business and we'll charge you a ton of money, sort of like Allen and Company in baseball. I have great respect for Steve Greenberg, but my God, he gets more money from owners. Hey, can you find me an investor or help me sell the team? Believe me, you guys can do it on your own. All you got to do is tweet or blue sky. Stand on a rock. Hi, my name's Jeffrey Lurie. I'd like to sell part of the Eagles. Anyone out there? Oh, thanks for calling. I had no idea that this person would even be a candidate to buy part of a team. Really? So what the 33rd team does, and they have this in baseball too, it's great. We will identify. Korn Ferry did it for the commissioner. They got paid a ton of money when Bud was retiring. Let's manage the search. And I don't want to poo-poo Korn Ferry because I've gotten a few calls myself over the years, but I will say, really? Let's see if we can identify a candidate to be commissioner. Here's what we've come up with. The current guy in charge of revenue, Tim Brosnan, the guy in charge of media, Bob Bowman, the owner of the Red Sox, Tom Werner, and the head of labor, Rob Manfred. That's where we are. Let's see. Anybody else? Let's take a look. Any college presidents out there we want to put on the blue ribbon committee? But don't worry, this 33rd team, and I'm sorry to impugn you, I'm actually complimenting you. You are getting paid by people to do that which they can do themselves, but you make them believe they can't. It's absolute genius. Just a quick note to owners and presidents out there. You don't need to hire them. Hire me and Coca. We'll do it for half the price. And we'll do twice as much in half the time. But we're going to find out who's on the list, because clearly Woody Johnson needs a GM. He needs a coach. He needs a quarterback. 33rd Team posted on an article on their website. They have the top 5 candidates to be GM right now, which was nice of them. Once they were hired by Woody, they deleted that top 5 list. Thank God, because no one took note of it. You could have gotten it for free. But then they said, hey, that wasn't our official list. It's like when you go behind a paywall. We'll give you our top 10 favorite movies, but they're not really our top 10. You've got to subscribe, and then we'll give you our top 10. Spoiler alert on davidsamsonpodcast.com. That's not my top 100 movies. I'm holding that back because I'm trying to raise money. I'm going to open a sub thing where you pay extra money behind a wall, and that's when I'm going to give you my real top 100. No, when we open behind a paywall, Coca, we're going to do it with more different, interesting, in-depth content, more engagement with fans than we even do now, and audience members than we do on X and on Blue Sky and everywhere else. That's what the value added. But don't worry, we've got GM candidates for you. It's just Woody Johnson's desperate to get back something. He's trying to find that feeling, trying to get that feeling again, Barry. Meanwhile, they can't even figure out what to do with Aaron Rodgers, whether they're going to keep him, not keep him. I wonder whether they looked over to their Jets counterparts and said, oh, this is what you do when your quarterback and team stinks. Aaron Rodgers, they can't figure out, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Half the insiders say he's done. Then they had to come out and say, no, he's playing this weekend. Thank God. Now we know that he's playing, but we don't know whether he's hurt. And the head coach, the interim head coach, had a very bizarre sort of question and answer about Aaron Rodgers' injury, which we would never have our manager say it this way. You'd have to ask Aaron if he's fully healthy, but he's better off today than he's been as of late, interim coach Ulbrich said. He's definitely feeling healthier than he has for probably the last month. Well, how do you know? Did you ask Aaron? Or did the media ask Aaron? Do you know that as a front office, you know the exact health situation of all your players, and you know which players are lying to you because you watch them play and you watch them practice? And very many players lie about their health, but you're able to tell. You're able to tell when their mechanics are different. You're able to tell when their spin's different. You're able to tell when they're not taking the extra base. You're able to tell when they can't reach certain pitches that they usually reach. There are ways to tell. Aaron Rodgers can't make throws, but blames it on the route or blames it on the coaching or blames it on whoever he wants to blame it on, including Rio. Do whatever you want. The reality is he's just old and not good and an obstructionist in terms of building a franchise. But it's as though he's got him by the curlies, because the question is, do you take the dead cap hit? Do you move on? Do you trade him? No one's going to trade for him. Do you wait for him to decide if he wants to come back in 25? Of course he does. We've gone over that. What's the use of hiring a new GM or even a new coach when you're basically being held in captivity by an overpaid quarterback who you chose to pay, Woody?